Victor Frankenstein.
Guillermo del Toro has always been a filmmaker who thrives in the world of monsters, shadows, and gothic imagination. From the haunting beauty of Pan's Labyrinth to the lush horror of Crimson Peak and the melancholic romance of The Shape of Water, his films are never just about spectacle. They're about the souls hidden beneath monstrous exteriors. So when news broke that Del Toro was finally bringing Mary Shelley's Frankenstein to life, fans of horror, literature, and cinema all collectively leaned in closer. Now that the first trailer has been released, it's clear that this isn't just another adaptation. This is Del Toro's grand vision of one of the greatest stories ever told. Welcome back to Your Nerdy Show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. Let's explore everything we know so far about this highly anticipated film, its story, its cast, its release, and what makes it such a unique, personal project for the legendary filmmaker. A timeless story reborn. At its heart, Frankenstein is a story that has haunted literature and cinema for over 2 centuries. Mary Shelley's 1818 Gothic novel is often credited as the birthplace of science fiction, while simultaneously being one of the most enduring horror tales of all time. The core of the story is simple yet devastating. Victor Frankenstein, an ambitious scientist, dares to play God by assembling a creature from human body parts and giving it life. But instead of triumph, he unleashes tragedy because what he creates is not only powerful, but also painfully aware of its own existence. Through countless adaptations, from James Whale's iconic 1931 classic starring Boris Karloff to inspired by tales like Edward Scissorhands and the Rocky Horror Picture Show, Frankenstein's monster has always symbolized more than just fear. He is loneliness, rage, innocence, and yearning rolled into one misunderstood figure. Del Toro isn't interested in simply retelling what has already been done. His version promises both faithfulness to Shelley's original themes and a radical reimagining of how the story looks and feels for modern audiences.
My maker told his tale.
A personal dream project. Guillermo del Toro has openly spoken about his love for Frankenstein for decades. He's collected artwork, memorabilia, and has even tried to get adaptations off the ground before. For him, this isn't just another Gothic tale to adapt. It's a lifelong passion, finally being realized on screen. He describes his vision of the creature as both delicate and terrifying, a being who must feel like a newborn in some moments and like a philosopher in others. It's that duality, the innocence and menace that has always fascinated him about Shelley's creation. What makes Del Toro's approach so distinctive is how he roots his monsters in humanity. In The Shape of Water, the amphibian man was not a threat, but a symbol of love. In Pan's Labyrinth, the monstrous pale man was the embodiment of cruelty and oppression. With Frankenstein's creature, Del Toro seems poised to explore both sides, the rage of being abandoned and the desperate longing for love.
The devil made him. I did.
The new origin of the monster. While staying true to Shelley's spirit, Del Toro is giving his Frankenstein a strikingly original backdrop. This creature is not stitched together in a vague laboratory setting, but has its roots in the Crimean War. According to Del Toro, Victor Frankenstein is working with mutilated corpses from a frozen battlefield, piecing together his creation out of a mass grave of soldiers. This origin adds layers of historical and emotional weight. Instead of simply being an unnatural experiment, the monster becomes a product of humanity's own brutality, an endless cycle of war. He is, quite literally, resurrected from the carnage of mankind's worst impulses. In the trailer, this vision comes alive as the creature strides through battlefields, storms ships, and carries with him both the strength of many bodies and the trauma of many deaths. His haunting line from the trailer encapsulates this torment. If you are not to award me love, then I will indulge in rage.
An idea took shape.
cast worthy of a Gothic masterpiece. One of the reasons this adaptation has gained so much attention is its remarkable cast, hand-picked to embody the complexity of these characters. Oscar Isaac takes on the role of Victor Frankenstein, known for his range across projects like Dune, Moon Knight, and Ex Machina. Isaac has the gravitas to play both the ambitious genius and the tormented creator who quickly regrets his own work. His Victor promises to be a blend of arrogance, brilliance, and vulnerability. Jacob Elordi stars as the creature, rising to fame with projects like Saltburn and Priscilla. Elordi brings an unusual physicality to the role. The production has kept his full appearance carefully hidden, but the glimpses so far show a statuesque, almost delicate figure. Del Toro has said he wanted the creature to feel like a baby learning to move, but also like a philosopher questioning existence. He's even studied Japanese Butoh dance and taken inspiration from his golden retriever's innocence to shape the creature's physicality. It's a performance that aims to be both haunting and heartbreakingly human. Mia Goth adds intrigue by playing dual roles. Elizabeth Lavenza, the fiancée of Victor's younger brother and Victor's mother. Known for her work in the X-horror series, Goth's presence guarantees an eerie, unsettling edge. Her dual casting may symbolize the blurred lines of love, loss, and obsession in Victor's life. Charles Dance, beloved for Game of Thrones, David Bradley of Harry Potter and Game of Thrones fame, and the incomparable Christoph Waltz round out the cast with seasoned gravitas. With actors of this caliber, every supporting role is bound to feel significant and memorable. A Gothic feast for the eyes. If there's one thing Guillermo del Toro films never lack, it's striking visuals. The trailer for Frankenstein makes this immediately clear as it moves from dimly lit laboratories to icy Arctic landscapes to grand halls where even daily life feels dredged in Gothic atmosphere. Del Toro is known for carefully crafting every frame, blending practical effects with digital artistry to create worlds that feel both fantastical and tactile. In Frankenstein, the contrasts seem especially sharp. The intimacy of a man speaking with his creation versus the sweeping scope of a monster striding across battlefields. The music, too, carries that balance of delicacy and terror, beginning with soft, haunting piano notes before swelling into a dramatic orchestral score. The trailer hints at a film that's as much about emotion and philosophy as it is about horror and spectacle.
My maker told his tale.
Release strategy. The timing of this film's release couldn't be more perfect. Frankenstein will debut in select cinemas on October 17, 2025, before rolling out globally on Netflix on November 7, 2025. Right after Halloween, this release pattern is telling. It gives the film the prestige of a theatrical premiere where audiences can fully absorb its grandeur on the big screen, while also ensuring that Netflix audiences worldwide can experience it as a cultural event. With its Halloween-adjacent release, Del Toro's Frankenstein is set to be the Gothic highlight of the spooky season. Themes of father and son. While past adaptations have often focused on horror and spectacle, Del Toro's version has been described as a father and son story. This recentering of the narrative highlights the tragic dynamic between Victor and his creation. Instead of simply being a monster, the creature is a child abandoned by his parent. Instead of simply being a reckless scientist, Victor becomes a flawed father figure who rejects his own offspring. This reframing makes the story even more emotionally potent, because the creature's rage is not only about existence, but about the pain of being unloved. Netflix itself teased this duality with the tagline, "There are two sides to every story." The fact that the trailer is narrated by the creature, giving his own account, suggests that the film may finally offer audiences a perspective that's been underexplored, not just what Victor created, but how the creation feels about being brought into the world.
Die with me.
Why this Frankenstein could be defining. It's easy to think of Frankenstein as a tale we've all seen before, but Del Toro's adaptation reminds us why it still matters. At its core, the story is about ambition, loneliness, love, and rage, themes that remain timeless. By grounding the monster in the horrors of war and giving him a voice of his own, Del Toro is ensuring that this Frankenstein resonates with contemporary audiences while honoring its roots. There's also the fact that Del Toro has a gift for turning monsters into mirrors of our own humanity. If The Shape of Water made us fall in love with a creature, Frankenstein may make us weep for one. And with a cast of Oscar Isaac, Jacob Elordi, and Mia Goth at its center, the performances are poised to be unforgettable. Our nerdy thoughts. Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein is shaping up to be more than just another gothic horror movie. It's a passion project decades in the making, a visually stunning reimagining of one of literature's most enduring tales, and a deeply emotional exploration of what it means to create, to be rejected, and to rage against that rejection. By the time it premieres in October 2025, audiences will be stepping into not just another adaptation, but what could very well become the definitive Frankenstein for this generation. With its haunting visuals, powerhouse cast, and Del Toro's singular vision, this is the monster movie event of the decade, and perhaps the most human story of them all.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.